Now, usually when it comes to flashbacks in One Piece, man, they're usually always some of the most hype things or sad things throughout the whole show. But this one flashback right here is a flashback that pretty much every One Piece fan can say they've been waiting for ever since they've heard of this moment. And that flashback is God Valley. Now, I think what makes One Piece fans fall in love with the idea of the God Valley flashback is just the thought of so many strong and top tier characters and so many important characters being in one area at the same time, all going against one another. Because we haven't really had that in One Piece so far yet, especially built up to the magnitude of this. Now, today in this video, we finna be going over things about the God Valley incident, what could potentially be happening. Now, let's start off with the stuff that we knew before this most recent chapter. Before the most recent chapter, we all just figured that the God Valley was just a place the Celestial Dragons just kicked it at, that there was their homeland before they was on Merijois, right? We also knew that Shanks was founded there when they were leaving. We knew Shanks was found in the chest. Those are things we knew, and we knew that Roger and Garp teamed up to fight Rocks. Okay, those are the only three things we really knew about this whole situation before the last recent chapter came out. But now with the most recent chapter, there are a few new things we found out. So one, we found out that there are a lot of new characters there that we didn't know about. Okay, we found out about Garling is basically there, Kuma's there, Saturn's there. If Saturn's there, I'm assuming the other Gorosei could potentially be there too, right? Now, we also know now that there's a human hunting tournament that's going to be going on. So they're not just going there for any other reason. So now it makes the God Valley incident carry a little more weight to it because now they're actually hunting humans. So let's go ahead and start off with the first thing, and that's Shanks' lineage, man. How does Shanks end up in that treasure chest on Roger's ship? We don't know how that happens, but we know it ends up happening, right? It's assumed at this point that Garling is either Shanks' father or some sort of relative. Me personally, I'm assuming that that's his father or grandfather, some sort of parental figure, right? I don't think it's his brother or nothing crazy like that. But for the sake of this video, we gonna say that's his dad or that's his Garp or whatever, right? Now, I really wonder what could have happened because Garling doesn't seem like the type of person to fuck with slaves. Shanks seems like a person who loves to protect the people who's even weak. So that's a good contrast right there because Shanks' whole fleet, as we know, from what we've seen, they was weak and Shanks still wanted to protect them. Garling, on the other hand, he feels like scum. If you protect scum, you're just as scum. Now, I feel like Garling could have potentially offered up Shanks in the contest because we know this is a contest, they're competing for prizes. Maybe Garling offered up Shanks as a prize because he just really felt so confident in winning, and then when he lost, it was just like whatever, you know what I'm saying? Now I know some people might be like, oh well, Garling didn't lose because he's called the champion of God Valley and stuff. He works for the government. The government pushes propaganda. I would not be surprised if literally Roger and Garp came in here and helped out with a lot of the work and Garland did a few things, but they just crowned Garland as the champion of God Valley, you know what I mean? But a question I have though about Shanks is why did the government never want to get him back? Because it's obvious the government knows who he is and Garling doesn't seem to care that he doesn't have Shanks around. So I feel like there's something there. Maybe they met up and we just haven't seen it on panel yet when Shanks got older, because I do feel as if Roger told Shanks about his lineage and that's why Shanks was crying. So maybe Shanks sought out to go see about who those people were and we haven't seen it yet. Maybe that's why him and the government really don't care and have a real good relationship. Well, I can't say they don't have a good relationship, but you know, they're not really buddy-buddy like that. Now let's get on to Rox's motive. Rox is a very interesting character that we really don't know too much about the man. I think that's one thing that makes him interesting, right? Because he has a lot of similarities to people like Blackbeard and maybe even possible similarities to Dragon, right? But Rox's motive. He could have simply came to want to take down the Celestial Dragons and their slaves, but if he was simply coming to just take down the Celestial Dragons, why would Roger help? You know what I'm saying? Garp probably wouldn't really even help. I mean, Garp, you can make the case of him wanting to help because that's his job, but what say so with Roger having that? Why would Roger care about what regular Celestial Dragons have going on? So he couldn't have just wanted to just take them out. He had to have been trying to look for something bigger, which a lot of people speculate is him saying he wanted to be king of the world. Now, I definitely feel like that is a good case, but why would he attack their slaves though? You know what I'm saying? I feel like there's something with Rox that is very crazy. Now, this is something else I have right here. Rox could have potentially been like very crazy and maybe he thought he was going to be the one to be Joy Boy, right? because we know from King's flashback that Kaido has some sort of info on Joy Boy, because Kaido wanted to do all this stuff with the smile fruits and devil fruits and the whole going to Wano, saying only Joy Boy can beat him. That's why he got to wait in Wano and all this shit. So he's gotten this information from somebody. Only other person Kaido's been around who could have got this info from is Rocks. You know what I mean? I mean, maybe even Whitebeard, because we know Whitebeard knows of the Lunarians and stuff like that, I believe. So who knows? But I'm really leaning towards the fact that Rocks might have told Kaido some things, right? So with that being said, is it that far-fetched to say that maybe Rocks originally thought that he was going to be Joy Boy? And maybe that's why he went so hard about going there, freeing the slaves, because maybe he heard of the legend of Nika somehow, and how Nika's supposed to free the slaves. It's like how Kuma heard about that shit. And maybe Rocks said, shit, that's supposed to be me, so let's go free these slaves. But the only other thing about this is that doesn't make it make sense is the betrayal. We know Kaido and Big Mom constantly talk about when we hear them bringing up the Rocks Pirates days. Even when we see a couple of flashbacks from those Rocks Pirate days, we see Big Mom saying, hey man, don't trust Rocks. Are you sure you could trust Rocks? We hear Kaido talking about pirates that are going to do nothing but betray you. I think we hear Big Mom saying something similar to that same aspect. So what could have potentially happened for Rocks to betray his crew members? Because if Rocks really felt as if he was Joy Boy, what business would he have betraying his crew? You know what I mean? I don't really feel like that doesn't, what description does betraying your crew fall into being Joy Boy? You know what I'm saying? I don't really know what description that has, but it's more unlikely that Rocks wanted to be king of the world, and that's why he did these things. Whether it was Rocks wanting to be king of the world, whether Rocks just wanted to take vengeance on every single person there, who knows? Maybe they did a human hunting tournament on Rocks' homeland before, and it drove him insane, and now he just wants to take vengeance on the whole world on some Doflamingo shit. Who really knows? Now Roger and Garp, we really don't know what role they have in this situation or why they wanted to step in, right? We could assume that Roger and Garp wanted to step in because of the slaves, but it says that Rocks was also attacking celestial dragons, like how I just mentioned. So I feel like Oda's possibly doing this on purpose, because Oda knows a lot of people love Roger and Garp. So it would look bad on them to want to protect celestial dragons. But that just means Rocks had to have been doing something way more sinister, like how I just got done saying about Rocks' motives. Because Roger and Garp would not jump in to protect celestial dragons. They both could care less if both of them are gone. So whatever it is, something happened. Now we finna go over devil fruits, right? Now we all know from the Dressrosa arc that Doflamingo, when he hosted his celestial dragon little tournament, his little Coliseum event, they competed for prizes, and they had a point system too, I believe. I'm not really sure, but they definitely competed for prizes, right? And we know the prizes was Ace's devil fruit, of course. Now we know Oda loves parallels, so it wouldn't be far-fetched at all if these celestial dragons are competing for devil fruits, or they have devil fruits in those cases for the other slaves, other people to compete for, right? Because we know 100% that Kaido gets his devil fruit on this island, because we hear Big Mom mention about how she helped him get in, how he owes her for it, right? We don't know what happened. We don't know if Big Mom just snatched the fruit out of the chest and gave it to Kaido. Who really knows, right? But I definitely feel like there will be multiple devil fruits on this island, because what else do these niggas have to compete for? Y'all a bunch of rich ass snobs with nothing better to do. You're gonna be competing for something. Another reason why I think there are devil fruits on this island is because we know the Marines are capable of having access to get devil fruits easier, because they got a lot of resources, they got a lot of people in a lot of places, right? Plus, what else would even be in those chests, my nigga? Like, what else could even be in there? It has to be a devil fruit. Devil fruits are gonna be on this island. We know Kaido's is here 100%. Other characters, we don't know shit. Dragon might have gotten his devil fruit here. Luffy's devil fruit could be in this chest. We really don't know. We're just gonna have to wait and see about that one, though. Now we moving on to unexpected characters. Now, how I said earlier, we got more info about new characters being here, such as Kuma, Ivankov, and stuff like that. We even seen Saturn in the flashback, right? So if Saturn's here, it's obviously I assume if Saturn's here, the other 4 Gorosei got to be too, right? And if all 5 Gorosei are here, all the God Knights should be here, right? I don't think Garland is not the only God Knight. There has to be multiple God Knights here. There's multiple Gorosei here, and now we already know about Kuma and Ivankov. Now, With that being said, Kuma and Yvonne Carver here. There's only one person from that trio that's missing, and that's Dragon. Dragon has been speculating to come back in 1100 because chapter 100 was his first appearance. So 1,000 chapters later, it's a good chance we see Dragon, whether it's a flashback or present day. I'm leaning more towards flashback because I feel like Oda's gonna draw this on for a minute. So I do feel like we could potentially even see Dragon in this God Valley flashback, man, and he could play a major role here. We do know Garp doesn't like talking about the God Valley incident. Maybe that might be why. Maybe Dragon used to be an ex-Marine. He came in, seeing some things. He thought helping the government and stuff would be good to help the world, but then he seen the fucked up stuff they were doing, and that's when he helped free Ivankov and Kuma, and that's when they went off to do their own thing with the Revolutionary Army. I wouldn't be surprised if that's how it went. Or maybe even Dragon used to be a God Knight, bro, and he was competing in the tournaments, but then he just got tired of the shit one day. Maybe him and Figurling used to be rivals or some shit. I'm not sure. Timelines might not add up with that because Figurling looks a little bit older now, unless Dragon was just in the Marines young as fuck. Or potentially Dragon might have known that this event was going to happen because he is Garp's son, and he went to the event staged as a slave to go free other slaves, potentially. Maybe that might have happened. I'm not really sure. Other unexpected characters who you should expect to see in this flashback. Rayleigh. Rayleigh is Roger's right-hand man. If Rox is here and Garp and Roger are fighting Rayleigh, if Garp and Roger are fighting Rox, where the fuck is Rayleigh at? It does, like, there are so many characters that should be in this flashback. It's gonna be crazy, and I really want to see how Oda's gonna do it. But yeah, for right now, those are all the really characters I really want to talk about. I know there could be even more characters coming here, like other members of Roger's crew and stuff like that, but we're just gonna stick with those characters for now. Now, in conclusion, the God Valley incident should conclude with a lot of fights and stuff that we've expected to see. All right, but I think Oda is gonna put a spin on it, and we'll get matchups that we never even thought we would see. But we do know that Garland will more than likely fight Whitebeard, or he at least gives him the scar because of Whitebeard's previous comments when he sees Shanks about talking about every time I see this scar, or I see your face, this scar aches and shit like that. It's because he looks like Garland. We know that now. But it's still unclear who Kaido and Big Mom and others were dealing with. Because with Roger being there, like I said, I assume at least Rayleigh is with him, or a lot of other characters. And there are a lot of fights that we can't even account for at the moment due to the lack of information we have. But with all that being said, I do think God Valley should end up being the best flashback in One Piece, if not the second best flashback behind the Void Century flashback. Because the God Valley, unlike the Void Century, the God Valley flashback, it's not involving Joy Boy, Emu, characters that we've never seen before. These are characters that we've known about since like the first 100 chapters, and we've been waiting to get a hold of them. Some characters new like rocks that we have nothing to know about. Some characters who we're even waiting to see more from, like Big Mom, Kaido. Truthfully, that's why I think Big Mom and Kaido got done the way they did in Wano, because we'll probably see a lot of them from God Valley, man. And like I said, there's the potential with so many other characters coming. This flashback is going to be goated, man. I can't wait. I don't really think he's going to do all of it at one time, though. I do think Kuma will probably escape before the fight and shit happens, and then maybe we'll get the separate part with the fights and the breakdown towards the end from another person's perspective. Like, comment, and subscribe on the video if y'all boys enjoy, man. And let's wait for the next One Piece chapter, man. Stay tuned for the next One Piece video. It's going to be a theory about the Buccaneer tribe, man. Let's get it.